Alright, everybody, UFC 149 this weekend, Saturday, July 21st at 7 o'clock. Pay-per-view starts. Okay, before I get to talks of UFC 149, I want to talk about UFC 148. Granted that Chael Sonnen lost, now they're talking about who's the next best bet. And they were naming of Hector Lombard if he gets past Tim Boetsch. But they didn't mention, not once, did they mention Alan Belcher. Alan Belcher, in my opinion, he's on, I believe, a 4 or 5 fight win streak, who I think is deserved the right for the next title fight. Anyway, on to UFC 149. First fight of the main card is Chris Clements versus Matt Riddle. Chris Clements is a knockout specialist. He's on a 5-fight win streak with a ton of confidence right now. Matt Riddle, on the other hand, is a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he's lost his last 2 of his 3 fights. He's got his back against the wall, so that means he's going to come out swinging for a knockout. The odds makers picked Matt Riddle, but all my knowledge is telling me that Chris Clements has this fight. I'm going with Chris Clements in this fight. Brian Ebersole versus James Head. Brian Ebersole is on an 11-fight win streak, 4-0 in the UFC. He's very well-rounded, and he's an NCAA D1 wrestler. James Head, on the other hand, is a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's won his last 3 of 5. He's 1-1 in the UFC, and he's a striker. The only thing I will say that Brian Ebersole has an advantage is his wrestling game. He can dictate wherever this fight goes. Oddsmaker and I agree that Brian Ebersole will win this fight. Cheick Kongo versus Shawn Jordan. Cheick Kongo has won his last 2 of 3. He's a veteran fighter, and he's a stand and bang mentality as a fighter. Shawn Jordan, on the other hand, he's a 1-2 straight, not afraid to go to the ground. And he is also another striker. He's got, I believe, 9 knockouts in his career. Oddmakers and I both agree that Shawn Jordan takes this fight. Hector Lombard versus Tim Boetsch. Okay, here's going to be a stand-up war. First, let's go to Hector Lombard. He's a 4th-degree black belt in judo, black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Has not lost since November 5th, 2006. That is a long time. That's nearly 6 years of being unbeaten. And this is going to be his UFC debut, which a lot of people will say there's some controversy on why he didn't want to leave Bellator or AFC at all. He's finally making his UFC debut. There's a ton of hype behind this fighter. A ton of hype. Tim Boetsch, on the other hand, he's won 3 straight. Never quit mentality. He will not quit until that last round is done. It takes a lot to take him out. You know, Yushin Okami had a hard time in Japan. He dominated him for 2 straight rounds. Tim Boetsch came back and won the fight by knockout. This shows the heart of this fighter. This guy will die in the ring, in the octagon. That's his mentality. He will die in the octagon. Oddsmaker and I both agree that Hector Lombard will win this fight, but do not count Tim Boetsch out. Not until the fat lady sings. I know that's a cliche, but this is serious when it comes to him. To the main event. It was supposed to be Urijah Faber versus Dominic Cruz, but Dominic Cruz pulled out of the fight due to an ACL tear. I believe that's what it was. It had something to do with the knee. Let's go with Urijah Faber breaking down his fight style. He's an NCAA D1 wrestler, brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and an unorthodox striker. In recent history, he's lost his last 4 title fights, which is very demoralizing as a fighter. Renan Barao. He's got a 29-fight non-lose streak, which means has not been beaten since his first bout. He's won 18 straight fights. He's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's got 6 KOs with 13 submissions. So he's more of a ground game guy. The tail of the tape. Urijah, 33, 5'6", 135, 69-inch reach with 26-5 win-loss. And for Renan Barao, it's a 25, 5'6", 135 pounds, 70-inch reach with a 28-1 with 1 no contest. In my opinion, Renan Barao is the favorite to win this fight. Oddsmaker agree with me that he is the odds winner. He's going to win this fight. But Urijah Faber has the heart of a champ. He's been a champ for a while. He's got the experience. I'm going to be rooting for Urijah Faber, but I honestly think that Renan Barao will be the interim champion. And I know Dominic Cruz is going to want Urijah Faber to fight because they have some unfinished business. So my fight pick is going to go for Renan Barao in this fight. Well, that's it for this UFC fight card. I hope you enjoyed my analytic background of what I have come to. Hope you enjoy the fights this weekend, and you know what? Watch the weigh-ins tomorrow. There's probably a press conference out there that I'm probably going to check out here in a bit. And thank you for watching my video, and I hope you guys have a great